to? Well, whatever this is. What is this? It's a good question. Well, I was working on a sermon the other day, and I was thinking up another dumb story to tell about my life and my own opinions and all that kind of stuff. And I realized I talk a lot, and I'm kind of sick of it. And I figure if I'm sick of it, you guys are probably definitely sick of it. So I had this brilliant idea. What if I talk to somebody else? I ask them questions and they tell me their stories, share their thoughts and opinions and ideas. Oh, it'd be amazing. It'd be like this back and forth thing that we could record and share with the world. It's unique. That's what it is. Wait, it's been done before? Hundreds of times. Oh. Well, we're committed now, so moving on. What are we going to call this brilliant idea? Funny story with that. I was walking through the backyard the other day, trying to come up with a name for whatever this is, and then a shrub burst into flames, and the Lord spoke to me, and he said, "Thou shalt call it this Talky Thing at St. Peter's." And I said, "Really?" And God said, "Yeah, it's a great name." Okay. Full disclosure, that did not actually happen. I'm just not particularly creative, and this Talky Thing at St. Peter's is the best thing that I could come up with. So, this Talky Thing at St. Peter's. Welcome. I assure you, when a shrub does burst into flames and the Lord speaks to me and says, "I've got a better title," I will be listening. Anyways, let's move on. Let's get to our first conversation because I talk enough as it is. Our first chat will be with our church council president here at St. Peter's and fellow Penn State alumni, Matt Clark. Let's get right to it. All right. So I'd like to welcome to our very first This Talky Thing conversation, Matt Clark, the St. Peter's Church Council president. Welcome, Matt. Thank you for doing this wonderful experiment with me.
Thank you, John.
It'll hopefully be some mild entertainment for the people of St. Peter's. I mean, that's really all we offer at St. Peter's is a mild level of entertainment. So let's get right to it.
Okay.
How'd you get here? You're from Pittsburgh. You're a Steelers person, the whole bit. How'd you end up here?
I went to Penn State. I was offered a job in New York. I went and worked in New York for a year. After a year up there, they said, "We're going to send you to Philly." And I've been here since. So that's how it worked out.
You've got Villanova connections too, right?
I got my MBA at Villanova.
Okay, so you've got it covered. You got Penn State, you got Nova, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
I do have a Penn State question for you later, by the way. So
I know. I'll talk about it.
Fine. So when did you come to St. Peter's? When did you join?
Actually about 6 years ago. I was raised Lutheran. When I first came out, I really didn't have a church. I didn't go that often. And, when my wife Amy and I started having children, we wanted to get them baptized. And that's when we ended up at St. Peter's.
That's what always gets people into the church, the kiddos.
Yeah.
It's a matter of keeping them there. That's the tough part. So what led you to be involved in St. Peter's? I mean, you're the council president now. You joined 6 years ago. How'd you get from A to B?
Really it was, I mean, I don't know if everyone knows my story, but, I was coming to church. I was once or twice a month kind of person. All my kids go to Catholic school. So, the nuns would pressure them into going to church. And, I'd come once or twice a month. When my wife Amy got sick, I felt it was God calling me back. And, God called me back and we started going every week. And it was a big part of, our lives. And it's been a big part of our lives. And, through that process, we you and I started talking about things needed at the church, and
Penn State.
What's that?
And Penn State.
And Penn State, but we started talking about things I could do, and got on council, and here I am.
So what's it like being council president? You like it? You don't like it?
The obvious answer, John, is you have to say you love it, right?
If pastor asks you if you like it, you have to say yes. That's
yes.
just kind of
no, but it's been a great experience. It really has, and I love council. I really do. It is such an awesome group of people. You have so many people who just really, really love the church, and we have a lot of fun together too in the process. So. We have people who are working hard, doing great things for the church, but at the same time, they really love St. Peter's, love their religion, love their faith, everything. And it's been a wonderful group of people to work with.
Yeah, we do have fun on council. I think a lot of times it's at my expense, though. You guys tend to make fun of me for talking too much, which is why creating this platform is helpful. I can get it out of my system here instead of. I know you really like the 40-minute cap on council meetings.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
But we're doing it on Zoom. So speaking of doing council meetings on Zoom, obviously we are in the middle of a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Everyone's lives have changed. The church has changed. We've had to change more than probably any of us could imagine. What's council doing in all this? How are you guys responding? What are you looking at?
We continue to operate as we have. We just have to operate remotely. I think council's been wonderful, right? Insanely in supportive of everything, John, you're doing right now. And just trying to find ways, can we do it better, right? Every day. That's really the goal. But I think the online worship, we've gotten overwhelming response. I really think this is God just telling us, you guys need to add this as something you're doing all the time. But council's operating like they always have. We are, communicating regularly. I talk to exec almost every other day, probably almost every day in most cases. And we're doing everything we can to keep the church moving. And, we're still, working with the county with like some of the things happening with the cemetery and the road expansion and things like that. We're working, trying to get government grants and things to help with the CARE Act. And, we can help support the weekday nursery school as well as, everyone working at the church. So we're very, very busy right now. It's just, we're not able to do it together. Right. But this has probably been the hardest time I've seen on council. Because there is a lot of things. This is a lot of challenges that have been presented with this, but I think it's really cool. You think about St. Peter's as a whole, every war, every fight in this country, St. Peter's has been there for, right? And we got through it. We've gotten through depressions. We've gotten through all these crazy, things that have ever happened in the history of this country. We'll get through this. We will get through this. We'll get through it together, and it's going to make it all the more special when we're all together. Again, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've been very impressed with not only council, but with, everybody at St. Peter's, with how quickly and readily everybody adapted. That's one of the things I talked about at the beginning, but just how quickly the congregation has adapted and really not only welcomed, but embraced and been supportive of this new normal that we have in front of us. And I think the council has done a really nice job of being supportive and also finding new things for us. In particular, as you said, the PPP loans that are out there, the council really jumped on that very quickly, supporting the nursery school, things of those nature. It's been great. And it's really been, I think, a testimony to the dedication of the people of St. Peter's and to the council. So, all right. So as we said, it's not normal now. You are a financial planner, advisor.
Yep.
Which one is it?
Whatever you want to call me, it's fine.
Okay, fine. I'll just call you Hey Matt. So you're a Hey Matt, and what's it like at work now, man? How are you holding up with that and then balancing the family and all that kind of stuff?
No, it's hard because I'm working from home for the first time ever. I've always gone into an office. So that's been a little bit of a transition for me.
With
Yeah,
5 kids in the house.
with 5 kids, yes. But really, it's look for our clients. It's just like what we're doing at the church. It's checking on people. It's making sure they're okay. There's an uncertain time for everybody, right? There's a lot of upheaval. Everyone's really kind of nervous right now. So with my clients, it's just calling them. I'm on the phone for probably 10 hours a day, and just checking on people, making sure they're okay, and making sure they, is there anything we can do for them? And that's the same thing we're trying to do in the church right now. Anyone who needs help, ask, please. We're here to help. Really, we are here to help. And but no, I mean, there's been more fun times with my job, right? When the market goes up, it's a lot more fun. But when the market goes down, that's when people really need us. And I think that's the same when you talk about the church. That's when life is good, right? I remember something Pastor Todd said to me when my wife Amy got sick was, I kind of apologized that we weren't in church all the time. And he said, aren't you happy though you have it to fall back on, right? And that was one of the kindest things anyone said to me through everything we've been through in our family. But when you really think about it, that with work, aren't you happy you have someone you can talk to right now? Is it happy? And it's the same with the church. We're here and we're going to help everyone we can, and that's what we do.
Excellent. It's church mentality in finance, not something I necessarily would have thought of, but I love it. I love it. So, all right,
there's good people in that world too, John. Okay.
I am sure there are. I didn't say there weren't. It's just not necessarily an association you immediately make. So, what's your favorite thing about St. Peter's? You can say me.
That would be lying, John. I'm not supposed to do that. No. I really love the community aspect of St. Peter's. I really do. I love coming every Sunday. I love, my kids running around, my kids seeing everyone. They really enjoy church. They enjoy all they were so bummed, like we couldn't do the Easter egg hunt this year, right? They look forward every year when Santa comes and, all those different things. Our church has become like our social calendar, right? And our whole lives revolve around what we're going to do at church next. And it's neat too. I think when you get into council and you look at everyone, we have pretty much every group in the church represented in some way, shape, or form. So it's really fun, like with council, to just hear the different perspectives, the different opinions, and where we should be doing, and what everyone has a different, kind of outlook on things. I really enjoy it. I don't see it ever as, when I was elected church council president, a lot of people say good luck, and I was like, why? This is great. And we have so many people at St. Peter's that really just care about the church, really just care. I think that's cool, and there's so much history there, and it's just, I really like it. I just, it's somewhere that I'm happy, we just ended up, and it's worked out really well.
Excellent. All right. So 2 last questions for you, my friend. One is, as you said, you went to Penn State. Obviously, I am a big Penn State fan.
Yep.
Do we get to see Penn State football this year?
I hope we do. We're a top 5 team. I really hope we do. They're going to be loaded. They're going to be loaded. The one proposal I read is that they would not play till next spring.
I saw that as well. I
think we get it. Villanova basketball, though, I'm really worried about too, because right now they're ranked number 1 for next season. Yeah, so it could be a great sports year if we have sports. So I'm really hoping that we have sports next year.
Can you imagine going to a home game in Happy Valley in February? That would be rough.
It would be rough, but no rougher than the November games that we sat through.
They're true,
right?
True.
We're sitting at negative degree games in November, so I can do February. That's fine.
I'll take it whenever it comes. All right.
Look, wait, hockey wise, that's always on the table that the Flyers and Penguins would play, the New Year's Day game at Happy Valley. That would be awesome, right?
I just want to say, I see you're a Pittsburgh guy. I know you like the Penguins. Dude, you got to admit the Flyers were on a roll.
They were.
Man, this is
They were.
It was our year. It was our year. Anyways,
I agree with Crosby's proposal where he said, let's just play. As soon as this thing gets lifted, let's just finish the season. And we're going to start the playoffs wherever you were at that time. Let's play.
Penguins are going down. All right, so last question. Assuming there is an NFL season, who has a better record at the end of the year, Steelers or Eagles?
Ben's healthy, 100% Steelers.
100% Steelers. That's your
We get
call.
we get to play the Bengals twice. We get to play the Browns twice every year.
Also fair.
Right. And we'll split with the Ravens. We'll get through the rest of our schedule. Steelers will, if Ben is healthy, they'll play better. 100%.
All right. We're gonna have to come up with terms of a wager then, because I don't know. We have the Redskins and the Giants on our calendar. So.
I go with you got to stay under 10-minute sermons forever. All right. And
I already do that. When is the last time you heard me give a sermon over 10 minutes?
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Sermons end when I get tired of hearing myself talk, which happens very quickly. I know that's surprising, but it does. Very quickly. All right. Well, Matt, I really appreciate you taking the time.
No, thank you.
This. And I'll see you again. I'm sure if we continue doing this, we'll have you on here again as we go forward. But
absolutely.
Thanks.
And listen, everyone stay safe and healthy right now. And seriously, we are going to be as cautious as we can with everything. So, I want to make that clear to everyone. We want to protect everyone at St. Peter's. So even if you hear the governor say, hey, we're ready to go, it might be a little bit of time after that, before we do anything. So really, really important. It's something we're debating within council, but we really want to look out for everybody. I think what we're doing is working really well. This has been the greatest evangelism I've seen since I've been to St. Peter's with the online worship. So we'll keep doing it. We can't wait to all together again. Good. What?
We had people in a Bible study last night from Missouri.
Right. So cool. It's
cool. The event thing. I mean, the new opportunities that we have, but the biggest thing for us as a congregation, as you said, is regardless of what happens with businesses reopening, we're going to err on the side of safety, in part because folks have responded so well to the various online stuff. And we want to make sure our priority is keeping folks safe.
100%. 100%.
So, Matt, you are the best. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks,
Let's go state, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, bud.
Well, that about wraps things up for us, St. Peter's. But we thank you for joining us. Before we go, just a few reminders. Don't forget to join us for worship on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. You can follow us on Facebook at St. Peter's Lafayette Hill. And also, please remember to check out everything that's going on at the church on our website, stplafayettehill.org. If you're able to support our ministries, please use the online giving tab on the church website. And most importantly, if you're struggling during this difficult time for our community, our nation, our world, please contact us directly. And we will do everything in our power to help you out. And if we're unable, we'll do everything that we can to get you connected with the resources that you need to get through this rough time. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to Matt Clark for taking the time to talk with me. And I want to thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again whenever we decide to do this Talky Thing at St. Peter's. Thanks. God bless. And keep sharing the life, love, and joy of Jesus Christ with everyone.